distinguished members of Senate, ladies and gentlemen, I have the real honor to welcome all of you to this important event, a special session of Senate, whereby we are commissioning the new Senate chamber. So you are all welcome to this milestone event in the annals of the university. I believe you all have the programs because they have been circulated among us all. So I'm going to start the program in earnest. I have the real honor to invite the Vice-Chancellor for his welcome address.
Thank you very much. My distinguished Vice-Chancellors, Professor Emeritus Olugbemiro Jegede, who God gave the opportunity to resuscitate our university. You are welcome to your university. The immediate past Vice-Chancellor, Professor Abdallah Adamu, the double professors we are proud to have as a Vice-Chancellor in two different distinct career fields. You are also welcome to your university. The principal officers of the university, the Deputy Vice-Chancellor Academic, Deputy Vice-Chancellor Administration, and Deputy Vice-Chancellor Technology, Innovation and Research, the University Librarian, the Bossa, and our Secretariat person in form of the Registrar, Deans and Directors, Heads of Departments and Professors who are here present. We don't have access to the hall yet, so I will have also greeted members who are in the various study centers who will be eager to link up with us. As the registrar has rightly said, today it's a very important day in the history of our university. But this is not the first time we're doing something like this, and I had cause to remind Professor Olugbemiro Jegede when the university started in 2003, and also in 2012 when we had to do something similar, moving from the hall to the Senate chamber that was then constructed. But this is a little bit different. This is our permanent site. And so we have all cause to be extremely grateful to Almighty God for providing the opportunity. Our other former Vice-Chancellor, the person who also had the privilege and the vision of establishing a permanent campus in Abuja, is on his way and he will join us very soon. But we know at the National Open University of Nigeria, we take time extremely very serious. So I first want to apologize. I was told that we had time issues of 10 o'clock and 10:30. But I could see here that before 10:30, almost all of us are here. So I want to thank all Senate members for their prompt presence here. We have to start here because we want, before we enter that place, we want our distinguished emeritus professor to press the tape for us. And that is why we thought we should start here, just give this brief summary, and then we now proceed, and we now do the formal opening of the Senate chamber. I have a fairly other speech to make, but I want to thank Professor Olugbemiro Jegede and Professor Abdallah for always giving us time to attend to our official and also ceremonies anytime we call on them. You can see Vice-Chancellor Sir that the whole hall is filled up. People are eager to go there. I was very happy when you told me in my office that you don't even know where the place is. So it's going to be for you, for Abdallah, for a number of distinguished senators there, a surprise to see the place. We had thought that we moved earlier than this to that place, but somehow I took members of Senate after our last Senate meeting to go there to go and see. So some have seen it, but they've not seen it as it is. And I'm sure that they also will be pleasantly surprised that we now have a Senate chamber. It's a Senate chamber and Council chamber in the Vincent Ago-Tenebe building. That is the name. It's not named after Penny Peters or anything. It's a Senate, our Senate chamber and Council chamber in Vincent Ago-Tenebe building. I think I need to get that very clear. But it's humbling enough that God has placed it in my path that we will be the one that will set up structure like that. So without much ado, we will follow the advice and the directives of the registrar in proceeding forward. Thank you very much.
Good morning, distinguished Senate members. We want to commence the official ceremony of the new Senate chamber for our university. So it's my honor to call on the distinguished Professor Emeritus, Professor Olugbemiro Jegede, to kindly cut the tape and declare the chamber open.
The Vice-Chancellor of the National Open University of Nigeria, Professor Olugbemiro Peters, former Vice-Chancellor, Professor Abdallah Adamu, the Deputy Vice-Chancellor, the Registrar, members of the principal officers, academics, deans, directors, and senators, and distinguished invitees. Honored to be asked to cut the tape of this fantastic place. This is probably the second or third Senate chamber we're having at this university. And I still remember that the first in Lagos. At some stage we did it standing. But I'm so pleased that from what I'm seeing at this place, this is the best. And I hope that it's not only going to be the best on this university, or not only in this country, but the best in all the open universities in the world. I will therefore use this opportunity, sir, to implore you and your Senate to start as soon as possible a way of showing off what you have done in this campus or in this university, and by starting an association of open universities in Africa or in the global south. Because I know that India, even though it's the biggest, wouldn't have gotten something as good as this. I'm also pleased to welcome everybody to a citadel where equality, equity, and pursuit of knowledge is the focus. I therefore welcome you to a place where people seek knowledge. And in that regard, because knowledge is universal, because knowledge is from God, wisdom is also from God, I will, on behalf of all those that will pass through this door to cut the cake, the tape. And I hope there will be a cake to cut later. In the name of the Father, in the name of the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
The Vice-Chancellor, the former Vice-Chancellor, our emeritus professors, the dean and directors, the head of departments, members of Senate, distinguished members that have come here to rejoice in the university, members of the university community, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I have the real honor to welcome you to this important ceremony. It's an important event in the annals of this university. I can see the grace, the building in splendor. We are very happy to have this building. During the commissioning of the now History Center, the former Vice-Chancellor, immediate past Vice-Chancellor, Professor and aptly described that building as a post-modern building. I wouldn't know what we're going to do to this building today. Maybe go to build post-modern or advanced modernism. It was a great day. And I know that he has an art description for this building. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor to welcome you to today's special session of Senate for the commission of the new Senate chamber. I hope you all have the programs, and we have continued that we have started right from the ground floor. So now move to number 3 of the item. I mean number 3.2. That is Vice-Chancellor's stage. The Vice-Chancellor will come and give us details, the synopsis on the concept, how this idea was conceptualized, the vision, and the ideas behind this vision. We want to hear the story, how this vision came into being. The Vice-Chancellor is highly invited to make his presentation. Please, sir.
Distinguished Vice-Chancellors, our own Professor Olugbemiro Jegede, the person who got aid to resource data and University of Nigeria. I also have the distinguished pleasure, honor, to also welcome the immediate past Vice-Chancellor of this university, the person who, without God and him, I probably wouldn't be Vice-Chancellor, Professor Uba Adami. You're welcome. I did have Abdallah in Muslim, and I did it out for a specific reason. After I was and him coming busy, we went to Esther. I hope it was the doctor to call. And I was following him like the dog behind the program. And when we got there, and he was to make, and I was to make a speech, I drew up the familiarity of my stay in the north. Called him Abdallah. He was pleasantly surprised and made a comment about it. That showed that this guy is one of us. You're welcome to your university, sir. My principal officers, I really want to welcome you all. Professor Mafiana, Professor Uswat, Professor Ahmed. They are welcome here. The principal officers, the real principal officer of the university, my friend Nasir, our university Nigeria, Dr. Angela Ola, and the registrar, on whose shoulder lies some of all the preparations for this event. I also want to acknowledge the presence of our emeritus professor, somebody who has always been with us, come rain, come sunshine, whose advice we cherish a lot, whose presence in the Senate of all our meetings, a sense of reassurance that whatever mistakes we make, we probably use his wealth of experience to direct our life. Professor Olugbemiro, you are welcome. The developed teams led by the Imperial School, and the 8 faculty teams, they are present. The chairman business committee of Senate, Dr. Martin, various deans and directors of this great university, the heads of department, and the professors, and invited guests, our consultant for this project, the builder of this project, and I think the person who sourced for the funds. Well, that's very important, as I will note. And friends of the university who are here. It's my really pleasure to welcome you here. The title of what I want to address is just about 4 minutes, 4 minutes break. It's our foundation, which has been laid by Professor Jegede, consolidated by Abdallah, and our future, which is being laid now. It's a call to honor our legacy and to shape our future. Deliberately, I'm not going to roll it, but I want you to listen to me. If I roll it, you will miss the essence of what I'm saying. Today marks a significant day in the history of our university. This is because it marks the second time a Senate chamber, properly structured, will be constructed and inaugurated at our university. On becoming Vice-Chancellor and attending my first Senate meeting, it immediately struck me of the inappropriateness of using the hall we were using for our Senate meetings. And so I recalled how we started in Lagos with a similar hall structure, and how eventually an attempt was made by the then Vice-Chancellor, Professor Olugbemiro, in the year 2012 to give us a befitting structure at the 12th floor of our former headquarters. I therefore convinced myself of the need to build a befitting structure, that is if I could get to doing it. Because I realized how difficult this dream assignment would be. It meant I would have to look and identify an appropriate location in this university that is already properly fenced. And even if I do find a location, I must look for the funds. I assumed office in 2021, but by 2022 I became convinced, and I came to the conclusion that this dream might elude me, as I was now familiar with the funding structure of the university in our country, and in particularly in my university. In addition, I couldn't see the space, I couldn't see the site, because as a traditionalist that I am, I believe the Senate chamber must be situated within the Senate Architectural Building. And that was the problem. Then one day in the year 2022, as we were processing after an inaugural lecture, the vantage frontage of the Vice-Chancellor gave a view of this present Senate building that I hadn't noticed before. When we processed this February, the Vice-Chancellor that says, so then he gave me a vantage frontage view of the Senate building I hadn't noticed before. It suddenly occurred to me that this building, Vincent Ado Jegede building, is bi-symmetrical on all four sides. More so on the approach from the arena. I also noted that through this approach, there lay a space that we are not fully utilizing, the space between Vincent Ado Jegede and the arena. After we finished the processing, I came downstairs to further detailed look at the structural features that I suspected I noticed. And I smiled. It did then occur to me that I could use those two features I mentioned to erect a structure, the bisymmetrical nature of this building and the space between the building and the arena. But who will design the structure? I'm privileged to have many family members and associates who are architects, countless numbers, including my family. But there was one smart and ingenious boy in coat that stood apart. I waited for him to pay me a visit to my office. And he came. I didn't invite him. I waited for him because I knew he would come and pay me a visit. When he came, I took him down. And I showed him the space and related to him the transactional relationship between the Senate building as it was and the arena. And then I told him what I wanted. And I asked him, could he try? Architect Moyo, please stand up. Architect Moyo just nodded his long head. Smiled, looked at me, and said, "Listen, it is possible, sir." So I told him to go and do me a design. Within 3 days, he came back with a sketch, a perfect sketch that showed that the new structure can fit snugly into the existing Vincent Ado Jegede structure, making it look as if it had always been one building all along. That is architect Moyo. My first mission was accomplished. Next is to look for the fund. Where am I going to get the money? I thought of only two sources: TED fund and what we refer to as PSR in our university. But it's only TED fund that can fund such infrastructural project that I wanted. And I couldn't go to TED fund because it was the year 2023. The budget had been passed. And we are looking towards 2024. And I had gone with the cap in hand to meet the executive secretary of TED fund. And he had promised he was going to give me high impact intervention. So I couldn't go to ask him for another one. So I waited. Then one day, in 2023, one of my friends, Alhaji Taju Ibrahim, is he here? I invited you. But maybe Minister can stand up for him. Minister Salman. Then, early in 2023, one of my friends, Alhaji Taju Ibrahim, a businessman that is president there in Abuja, but who I knew when I was being tenured at Ministry in London, came in to see me. And after a long gist of past relationships and battles, and as he was about to go, he asked me, he said, Baba Prof, he calls me Baba Prof, what do I think he could do for me to support me in my office? My mind went straight to the Senate and Council chamber. And I told him, he said, Baba Prof, I will see what I can do. A few months later, he called to say, Baba Prof, I think I will source for the money for you. That even if this is the only project you will do, we will build it. And here we are today. Built at a record time, this Senate and Council chamber is a testimony of my deep sense of duty and commitment to the growth and development of this university. My deep sense of gratitude goes to the Almighty God, the gracious one, who sees the heart and minds of all human beings, and to Architect Moyo and his beautiful wife, Princess, my second children, were the families competing for his fatherhood. And I'd like to thank Ibrahim for realizing my dream. I want to acknowledge the complementary role of Alhaji Nasir Marafa, Alhaji Abu Hakim Yusuf, and Mr. Alifemi Oyedepo in getting this structure completed. Especially Nasir, we are always here together, pointing at one thing to be done for the other. I also want to thank the contractors. Minister Salman, please stand up, for doing a very wonderful job. Professor Abdallah and Professor Jegede, who recognized this man at Foro. He was also one of the builders that built the Foro Resource, for which we are very proud. It is such high quality delivery that Femi Peters usually suspect. I want to thank him for still staying true to the work. Finally, I want to thank the builders and our supervising department, led by the Director of Physical Planning and Development, Architect Sharif. Himself and his staff and the consultant Architect Moyo were the ones, including Nasir and Yusuf, who are always giving me closed-door information about what was happening here. It is universally acknowledged that the Senate of the university played a critical role in the governance and academic administration of any institution. Our own Senate is no exception, as it stands as a beacon of academic excellence and integrity. The erection of this magnificent structure, therefore, serves to reinforce the important mission of our now Senate as an indispensable feature of university governance, that through meticulous due diligence, this body will continue to ensure that academic matters are handled with the utmost probity and always in alignment with our university standards and goals. This was the foundation laid by my predecessors who came before me, who are hereby seated. I would like to acknowledge and commend the invaluable contributions of all the past Vice-Chancellors of this great university for their visionary leadership and their unwavering commitment to academic excellence and ethical governance. Their efforts have set a high bar that every subsequent Vice-Chancellor of this university shall strive and must strive to uphold and build upon. In this building, by the grace of the Almighty God, we shall continue to engage our faculties in the collaborative decision-making process. And by so doing, we shall continue to uphold the integrity and quality of all of our academic programs, ensuring that they meet the evolving needs of our students and society at large. Once again, I wish to extend my gratitude to our past Vice-Chancellors here present today for gracing this occasion with their presence. You have continued to demonstrate your dedication to our university's growth and well-being. You have prioritized everything above else coming here, and for this, I and your colleagues are extremely very grateful. To my esteemed colleagues here present, and those at our various study centers who are watching us by link, I offer my heartfelt congratulations on this epochal occasion in our university's illustrious history. This moment marks not just the opening of the building, but the beginning of a new era in our collective pursuit of knowledge and excellence. It is a call to honor our legacy and shape our future. As we inaugurate this new Senate chamber today, I charge all of us here to maintain it as a hallowed chamber it truly is, by demonstrating through our presentations, our words and actions, the respect, the reverence and honesty of purpose that this chamber deserves. May every policy and decision that emanates from within these walls adhere to the highest standards of education and research, contributing significantly to achieving academic excellence and the broader mission of our great university. Together, let us ensure that this Senate chamber stands not just as a symbol of our past achievements, but as a launching pad for our future aspirations. May it be a place where ideas flourish, where debate is robust yet respectful, and where the pursuit of knowledge knows no bounds. Thank you all for being part of this historic moment. Let us move forward with a renewed sense of commitment, honoring our legacy while boldly shaping our future. I thank my friends, Mr. Olugbemiro, who is seated. Oh, all right. Olugbemiro is my party here in Abuja. He's always following me like I was following Abdallah. I thank my friends of the universities who are here at very short notice, and they also showed up today to share in our joy. We want to thank you all, and God bless us all. Thank you very much.
Mrs. Stanley Ovation. Yes, I go to move into item number 4.0. There's a special address to be delivered by the immediate Vice-Chancellor of this university, Professor Abdallah Ubadam, the man that described the Oloju complex as a postmodern building. I want to listen to what is what is the definition about this building. Maybe postmodern or something. I have the opportunity.
Before I say anything, I would like to thank the university for giving me a podium that matches my height. Because usually when I'm asked to talk, they are at odds and where to get the podium. Otherwise, when I start talking, you can only see my head. The photographer is aware of this. That is why he put down my mouth. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على نبينا الكريم. The registrar is an artist. So you, the architect, remember him. The registrar picked up on a comment that I made in the corridor, and he's repeating that. But what it shows was that deep down, my Oga, the Vice-Chancellor, Olugbemiro, is a post-structuralist, post-modernist creator. Post-modernist, but he is post-structuralist. He's a Gagaist. And he has encompassed the aesthetic. He may not be an architect, but the architects that work with him are aware of his Gagaic and impressionistic inclination towards art. And therefore, they move along that contour. Sir, I would argue, and I'm ready to debate this. I don't think there is any possibility this Vice-Chancellor in Nigerian universities of Nigeria. I am truly honored to be asked to come and to give the speech and open of this beautiful, beautiful postmodernist structure. Truly, truly honored. And I'm also happy that my teacher, Professor Jegede, is here. I remember when he was in ABU, and he was a very good teacher, very nice, very kind, no wahala, very smiling all the time. So when Jegede was given the task of bringing back to life this university, I was very honored when he remembered me. I must have been a very good student, sir. But you only remember your good students. You try to forget the bad ones. So we gathered together in Lokoja for a whole month. And Professor Jegede had just come from Hong Kong. So he was Oyibo. He didn't realize that in Nigeria there are a lot of things that need to be done. Toward the end of the exercise, our money ran out. And he doesn't have money to pay the rest. And you have all these old Mabala or Kura at the place. And he was like, oh wow, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? The Prof, don't go and get money, wherever it is. So Prof, Jegede, we thank you very much. I thank you personally for the science method courses in ABU. And I also thank you very much for involving us. And after we finished that program in Lokoja, Professor Jegede offered me the deanship of the Faculty of Education, National Open University of Nigeria. And I was like, seriously? I mean, are you really crazy? You want me to leave Bayero University and come to this university that has been blasted left, right, and center by the National Assembly? Thanks, but no thanks. So I rejected that. He also asked Professor Adere, who is now an emeritus professor like you from the same University of Wales. Professor Adere also rejected. So we are already away from National Open University of Nigeria because we don't think it was really a viable project. It was good to get to Lokoja, and he had a boat, some yacht or something like that for us, where we all got in and had lunch. It's not like when you go all over the place. You see, Mandela remembers all that. At that time, Mandela was fresh and young. So, at the end of it all, we left Lokoja with a very, very bad impression of the National Open University. Because I just returned from UK with a PhD, then became a professor, and therefore studied the UK Open University. And when in life, I did a whole PhD on Open University. So we said there's no way this is going to happen. But he, tenacious, dedicated, made it better, made it happen. At one stage, he even gave up. The Nigerian doctor got him so much that he gave up. He decided to go back home. But we don't know where home. Was it Australia or was it Hong Kong? but he decided to go back. He packed his things and left. It was Oga Obasanjo who was on the way to the airport. They had to actually delay the aircraft. Delayed the aircraft and removed his luggage and marched it back. I'm saying all this as a brief reflection to indicate the journey. Some of you might have known this, some of you are new to the university, but don't have known this. Jegede gave this university his soul. He gave it the soul. Without his dedication, his care, his worry, we wouldn't be here. Be very proud of you. We wouldn't be here. While I was a Vice-Chancellor, I got a letter from the Dean of the Faculty of Science saying, oh yeah, you have to provide your materials. I said, are you serious? Materials? What materials? I forgot about all that. So I'm glad I'm embedded part of the university. And Vincent Adamu, don't remember that. If you notice carefully, we are all a little bit portly and a little bit short. So the Adamu are a little bit short always. The circumstances that led to the creation of this campus was to Vincent Adamu. He said it at a meeting last week. And those of you who are not there will be fascinated by the coincidences that gathered together to make it possible for us to have this campus. So when I was appointed Vice-Chancellor, I didn't apply for it. I didn't even want it. Remember, I didn't want to become a dean of the Faculty of Education. So why would I want to be a dean of Vice-Chancellor? But people had it, and I got it, and I met wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people. I can't say that it's one person that I hold the grade against the university. Everybody was just fantastic. Everybody was laughing, everybody was accepted, so it was great. And Professor Peters was also a colleague at Olugbemiro University in Zaria. You know, we were at ABU together, we had common friends and so on. So it's a family, now it's a family. Myself, Vincent, Olugbemiro, Jegede, we are all family, we are connected, either by having the surname, from the same mother, from the same house with different fathers and different mothers, or through ABU. The three of us were connected to ABU, and I'm very, very proud to be invited here to do this. Very, very proud. Well done, sir. So now I will follow your style. I have something that I will skip through. Written. How would I know what this university has achieved? After I left 4 years ago, exactly 4 years ago. How would I know what I achieved? Simple. Whenever I come in to read my organ, I see new things, new structures, and I get curious, very, very curious. Let me go and see what is happening there. And I'm highly, highly impressed. The campus has moved away from modern to post-modern to post-structuralism. It is with great pleasure and honor that I stand before you today on this momentous occasion, the commission of the remarkable Senate building, a testament to the enduring commitment of our university to excellence and progress under my Oga, Professor Olugbemiro, and the able and capable Vice-Chancellor of the National Open University of Nigeria. My slogan, when I took over from another Oga, Professor Vincent, was to move now to verb. To be frank with you, I forgot what verb now means. When I came up, I have all this now to verb, and slogan. But now I forgot what it is, because we are all entrenched in just trying to make sure that the university survives. Remember, at that time, we were attacked from all angles by people, illegal appointment, illegal vice-chancellors, Buhari, save now, and so on. And somebody set up a hashtag to save now. And we are sending it to Buhari. Buhari doesn't even know what the internet is for Buhari. Doesn't care about that because he has people who will be able to do that for him. So my slogan then was that. But I don't know what my Oga VC slogan is, but I created one for him. Build the next level. That is. As we gather here, we celebrate not the physical structure before us, but the vision it represents and the journey that has led us Standing on this threshold, I cast my mind back to the beginning of the journey. A cosmic congregation of celestial events put Professor Elias Bogoro, the then Executive Secretary of the Tertiary Education Fund, in the same cosmic space with Professor Richard Olugbemiro, the then Vice-Chancellor of the National Open University of Nigeria. This juncture, coupled with the desire by the Nigerian federal government to move from elite to mass education, to open and distance learning, was the birthplace of this beautiful campus. The vision shared by both Professor Bogoro and Professor Jegede created this stupendous campus of now. I took over as Vice-Chancellor on the 1st March 2016 with handover in Lagos. At the time I knew a campus had been built for now, but I had not visited it, to be frank. After the handover, we came to Abuja for me to see the campus on Thursday, 6 March. I was shocked at the size and the beauty of the building. Much later, comparing this campus with other campuses, I realized we're in the international league of this category of educational awards. Many people keep saying that UNISA is the largest campus, open and distance learning campus in Africa. It is not. It is not. Why? Because here in now we are dedicated, the entire superstructures are dedicated to open and distance learning. In UNISA, it's just a unit, one section, one school, that is on open and distance learning. How will you compare a hand with a body? So we still remain the biggest. Since the campus was still in development, I was faced with the challenges of ensuring a sustainable development beyond the level Professor Jegede left it. This was the easiest thing for me to do, because both Professor Jegede and Professor Bogoro had created a sustainable mechanism to conclude the campus. So much that I informed the university community of our intention to occupy Jegede on Monday, March 28th. That was a statement, a declaration that did not make me popular. But then nobody knew me anyway, so I wasn't looking for popularity. I mean, everybody was like, who is this guy? Okay. And when I came in, this tiny little thing, he's a right. Oh, wow. And then I came in talking tough. Okay? We have a campus in Abuja and we're moving to Abuja. And you could hear the collective groans of despair. Oh my God, Abuja K, Abuja K. I said, okay, guys, I'm a liberal. I am not going to force anybody to go to Abuja. No one. You want to stay in Lagos? No problem. It's beautiful. There's a beach. You can go to the beach, swim, take it easy, relax, and chill out. But I am going to Abuja. So, if you want an approval for anything, you go to the airport, buy something called a ticket. You buy a ticket, you fly, you come to Abuja, and you come to my office. If I can see you, if I decide not to see you, you have to wait. Go to a hotel. There are a lot of hotels like Rockview, there is Hilltop. I mean, there are all these beautiful hotels. Whatever time I see, I will sign it, and then you go back. You know what happened. So don't say, Professor Abdullah forced her to come to me. I didn't force anyone. Did I? Now your choice. So it's okay. But I will be in Abuja. Minister will be in Abuja. Pastor will be in Abuja. Physical development will be in Abuja. Even the health clinic will be in Abuja. So it's up to you to either what to say. They came. On our occupation, the campus was vast and dotted with only a few buildings. The roads were untarred. While due to settling down, we are also confronting the development of the university and basic infrastructure. To be frank, there were still finishing touches being carried out on the various buildings when we took over. But our logic was that unless we occupy the campus, the contractors will never have finished it. For the next 5 years, therefore, we started developing the campus for it to be world-class academic facility. Even though we don't have residential students, we believe that all our facilities in the university should also be supported. These included worship centers, conferences, and meeting halls. Some of you may not know this, but I faced a problem with the worship centers. When we came in, there was a mosque. I'm a Muslim, so there is a mosque. And then there were grumbles about not having a church on the campus. Why should we have a mosque but not a church? I said, federal government does not allow the building of worship centers with the federal government on campuses. This is a fact. So they said there's a mosque, a big one. So I didn't build it. Who built that mosque? It was there when I came. The culprit who built that mosque, they said it right here, right here. He built it. So, because he's a Christian and he built a mosque, I decided as a Muslim to facilitate the building of a church. So we gave a land. But that church, that mosque was not built by the university, by the university, it was a contractor. Jegede told the contractor, I'm tired of people scattering prayers all over. They go there, they have the little mosque, they go there, they have the little mosque. So give us one central mosque. And in Islam, there is something called sadaqatul jariyah. For your beliefs to live after you have died. You either build a school, a well where people can drink water, and a mosque, a worship center. So he asked him, because Jegede knew Islamic theology, so he asked him to build a mosque as his sadaqatul jariyah, and he did. So the task was on me to create a mosque. And there were all these letters, grumbles from here and there about we are not allowed. I said, hey, chill out, okay? I'm the chief chiller. No problem. So we gave a speech. I said, I can give you space, but what build it? We like space. And then when we gave the speech, I gave it on one condition, that I would be the person to commission it. I must be called to commission. Otherwise, I don't agree. Anybody to come and commission it, even if it is from Rome, I don't agree. I will be the person to commission it. Because I'm proud of it. I'm proud of the structure. I don't know whether they have finished it or not, but I know whatever time they finish it, I am demanding whoever is the Vice-Chancellor, I will come and commission it. If they commission it without me, I will come back and commission it myself. I'll come and commission it myself. By the time we left, there were still vast spaces on the campus with a lot of projects on the drawing board, and no time to complete them. The COVID-19 lockdown of 2020 also dealt a massive blow to the infrastructural development of the university, and things virtually came to a complete standstill. About a year later, it was time for us to leave. And those who were here, remember, I had a timer. I have 3 months, I have 2 months, I have 3 weeks, I have 3 days time. Tomorrow I will go. So when I left, on Thursday we had a Roma. On Friday I went to the hospital by Sunday. On Saturday I got the hell out of Abuja. On Monday, Professor Olugbemiro was looking for me because he was the chairman of council, because he wanted to do a small dinner for me. He asked the registrar, where is this? This year has blown, gone off. I said, goodbye. I don't think I'll come back to now again. But my Oga, Professor Peters, kept asking me to come back and come back. Initially, I was a little bit afraid to come back. I said, why would I come back? What reception would I get? But then when I came back, I found massive reception, starting from him, and then from Esther, from the registrar, from everybody. That was when I put down all doubt and said, I am now a now knight. So while it is easy to start something, anybody can start anything. Sustaining it to its logical conclusion is bigger than initiating it. And that sustenance was only if there is a synergy between those who started it and those who are charged with the responsibility of sustaining it. Luckily for me, I didn't contest with the Vice-Chancellor, so I didn't have any acrimonious relationship with anybody. When I came in, I only knew 2 people, Professor Kazim in education because I taught him, Professor Mutara Alasan, the late Mutara Alasan, because he was our friend. And I was not even the one who brought Professor Alasan to now. It was Vincent, I will tell you, he was his friend. So I didn't know anybody. So I don't have any friend, any enemy. I was ready to make friends with a lot of people. So you can't say, I'm not going to do this because I've done it. I'm not going to do that because blah, blah, blah. We did the work, we left it, and Professor Olugbemiro sustained it beyond the next level. take a look around, and the campus changed. I know there was a vast space between what was postgraduate school and the Aston, it was a huge space. And now the space is gone. And then we have this beautiful conference center, which we actually, it was not a conference center, it was a theater. It was supposed to be 1,000-seater theater. But then we got into trouble with the procurement, with all sorts of contractors who wanted that contract. So we were told by the powers be that we must give this contract to these people. We must. It wasn't an option. So we said, we don't have money. They said, okay, next time you get money, you must give it to them. Then we heard and said, but we no longer need it because it is a contradiction to say 1,000-seater lecture theater for students. On campus, we don't have students. There isn't one single student on this campus. So why do we need a 1,000-seater theater for them? So we are now creating a facilitation center. And that was how we were able to get rid of that wahala. So our conference center is a facilitation center. What does facilitation center mean? Nobody knows. Even the program people didn't know. They just saw it. The facilitation center for National Open University. Okay, you can go ahead. So that's how we're able to get people facilitation center. So, like I said, it is easy stuff. We started it. We didn't finish it. And now it is absolutely wonderful, beautiful place. So when we moved in 2016, office space was tight. With the university expanded, it was clear that we have to have more offices. Standing before us is an excellent office accommodation for the Faculty of Social and Management Sciences. We need to combine them together in more place. Everything was all done for them. But remember, our coming to this campus was oya. We have to rush. Because if we don't, I might be in trouble with the Federal Ministry of Education. So we have to do. So we are all compressed. But now we are all being spread out. Faculty of Computing. It is another wonderful place that we couldn't have started. That there was no way we could have started. Like I said, the COVID 2020 just destroyed a lot of our plans. But I'm glad we are back on spring, and the Faculty of Computing has come up. Director of World Services, Procurement Services Audit. I would like to once more thank you very much, Professor, my Vice-Chancellor, for inviting me to declare, I'm not going to declare it, but to address this wonderful Senate. I'm impressed with what I have seen. Truly impressed. Because there is nothing bad than having left a place, coming back and seeing it all in tatters. But you left a place, it was half developed. You come back, it is fully developed. We hope that the university will continue to maintain this excellence. I know it is trying now because of all this fuel, diesel, and so on and so forth. The money has gone down, maybe our revenue probably might have been affected. But we thank God for all masses. Professor Peter Sir, I pray to God to continue to guide you. I pray to God to continue to support you, to protect you. And I pray to God to put you over and above your enemies. Amen. So that you can now lead this university greater and greater glory. Thank you very much.
I just want to respond to one or two things that you said, and I was deeply, pleasantly surprised that Abdallah mentioned that. And Nasiru is there to get me out and do so in my office. We intend to do just what he said. We actually invited a consultant, a fine artist. He's been here to take the measurements of all these places up to downstairs. And they have presented us with the various artworks that we need to do. So we will do what you suggested. The second thing you suggested, which even made me pleasantly surprised, showing that hearts and minds is actually working together. It is the plan to stop using the main entrance there and turn it into a museum. As you come in there, we are going to turn it into a really hallowed chamber. of past histories of this university. Past Vice-Chancellor, ex-office ministers of education that have ruled our country, and structures right from Lagos, those things that show our history. Presently, where the reception is, where NICC is, that's where we're going to be. And I'm taking also Jegede there one day. Prof, I'm taking you there one day to describe to him, because he's also very artistic in mind. I know that of him. Some of the things I do are actually copying for him. So I'm taking him there and to say that this is what we intend to do. And our new entrance will be the two sides. And we'll do that only for important ceremonies, when council is going to meet, or when we're going to have visitors from the National Assembly or from the political class. So, Professor Abdallah, I think our minds are working together to just reassure you there that what you said is actually what we plan to do. God helping us. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Yes, this dinner has been described as post-popularism, and you know that. Very aptly defeated. Thank you, sir. There will be a slight adjustment in the program. We are going to bring 6.0 to 5.0 now. Before we now come back, there will be the tour of the facility will come first. Later, when you come back, we now have some comments and remarks. And the architect, Mr. Muyo, will lead us to the top of the facility. So that was what we do in this place. Muyo.
This is great honor that I am privileged to take you on the tour of this building. I will be taking you on this tour along with my other brothers who are present here. And I will want them to please come forward. The structural engineer and the mechanical engineer. Well, first and foremost, I would love to appreciate the leadership of the Vice-Chancellor for the opportunity to design this edifice. And also, I've told the Vice-Chancellor that I'm going to make a very short speech on the day of the commissioning to talk about his vision. This sitting hall we are all seated here is about 240 meters square in size. And usually it should not sit more than between 100 to 120 people. But here today we have over 150 seated. And that is what the Vice-Chancellor was able to achieve. The design was to cater for 120 seats, but due to the creativeness of the Vice-Chancellor, we were able to have an extra 30 seats. Then also, I would also love to thank the leadership of the Director of Fiscal Planning, Architect, so they could give the building this shape. Looking at the building from the outside, you see the building having the regular curves, like the usual building. The creativeness of architects that gave the building the shape and also added more space to the building. Also, looking at the podium, we are seated about 30 feet above the ground. Everyone sitting on this podium is suspended without any column carrying them. So this was achieved by our structural engineer and also with the help of the Directorate of Fiscal Planning. So we were standing on this height, really suspended 30 feet above the ground. And also, we also have, the initial design was to have the podium on that north wing of the building. The Vice-Chancellor, with his creativity, was able to give us a vision on how to correctly position the seating to this house so that everyone could have a view of polio, which I am taking it for. So lastly, I told him that everyone that sees this building will say the architect has designed a very good building. He will never mention that the Vice-Chancellor was the one that gave all this. This is me saying a very big thank you to him for the opportunity, for his insight, for his leadership, and for always being here. Night, sometimes we spend 6 p.m. here with the other consultants looking at how we could further enhance the building. You can see there are no columns obstructing anyone's view in the building. And as on behalf of my consultants, I'm thanking him for the opportunity.
I have to invite the former Vice-Chancellor and the rest of us to come together.
I have just confirmed from my research that the older you get, the shorter you become. That's why you may have seen me in golden days. When I was younger, 20 years ago, I was never golden. Anyway, I want to thank the Vice-Chancellor, Professor for creating this wonderful atmosphere for us to commission the new Senate chambers. And as some of you may have heard or known, I was in the military for a few years. From 1971 to 72, I was commissioned extraordinarily a captain in the Nigerian Army. Then I was an instructor at the Nigerian Military School Zaria. And the reason why they commissioned me was that, or gave me the officer's position, was that I couldn't lead the boys into the bush for bush camp and be commanding them in the mufti, that is in the civilian clothing. And so for them to take any command from you, you must also be a soldier. That's why 3 or 4 of us were commissioned the same day by no other than the late Major General Olugbemiro, and there's another name, I can't remember that, but both of them are actually thanking one of my colleagues in Hong Kong. Professor Jegede called me aside and said, we've had problems. Nigeria sent the minister with 7 other people to come and negotiate with Hong Kong government to release me. And when they were chatting, I mean, imagine a Nigerian on one side, or supposedly, and you have the Hong Kong government, and you have the Nigerian group led by a minister, and said the president said we should negotiate how we can take this person back home. I went to the toilet and I was shedding tears. That's my country. That could have been better for me. I could have done a lot of things. I'm not trying to say that. Now they are coming to negotiate for me to go back. And the executive secretary of Hong Kong said, you cannot pay him because we are, Professor Boris Adeyemi, God bless his soul, is dead. I will pay him, do all that. And the executive secretary of Hong Kong, who's like the president, showed them my business. So this is it. Can you pay him? They went quiet. That was when executive secretary said, we are going to support Nigeria by paying his salary for 2 years when he's back with him. But as soon as he finishes, he must come back. But of course, and the reason why they wanted me to come back, again, please note this, was that my team in Hong Kong had gotten a research grant from outside Hong Kong, $9 million US, 2001, to do research on virtual reality. That's the virtual reality many films have been hearing that. As far back as 2001, we started on that. I came back to this country and wanted to go back after 2 years, and then of course, they didn't want me to go. And here I am now. And when I was to leave the Open University, the African Union got hold of me and said, you must go to Ghana, you have what you did, you must go and do something about the Association of African Universities, which I did. But anyway, these are some of the stories I thought I should just mention, which you may not have heard. But what can anybody say? But to say, things come at their own time. And that, as he has said, and he's a deeply religious person. And he loves Jesus. He does. Well, this is what I'm saying. And what he was saying that unless God does it, nobody can. They that labor will never in vain. And that's what has happened here. But I need to mention a few things. Coming back to Abuja, Lagos, Abuja, and now here migrated, it's the same story about natural migration. I think the professor of migration is here. We migrated, we went to Lagos. July 15th, 2003, I gave a directive. You're either in Lagos or you're nowhere. And everybody went to Lagos. We started. We had the first meeting standing up in the building for 3. And some of you who were there. That was the first time we had our management meeting. People resigned, they came to Lagos. When they came to Lagos, they went back again. Whatever it was, we did what was necessary there. That was 2003. 2005, and please note this, and I can mention it because I'm not going to do it again. In New Zealand, we went for the ICD meeting in New Zealand, and the first Open Polytechnic in the world. And 2 gentlemen in Nigeria, again, I won't mention names, called me to a meeting and said, we are going to move the Open University from Lagos to Abuja. That was 2005. They are there, they are alive. But I'm the only one who knew. I think I told 1 or 2 members there. So I knew that we were going to move back here. But what did I do with that? When we came back to Lagos, I started working on space, land. First of all, I went to Erufai, very good friend, and I said, and I'm sure some of you, I'm sure some people, when we had council, and I said, we need land in Abuja, we need house. Erufai told me plainly, say, sir, we respect you, we know you, we know everything, the world knows about you, but I'm not going to give you any land because you took our university to Lagos. And I'm quoting, and I want, if there's any pressman who want to say that, that's already this I want to try to say, but I couldn't. But he said that because I knew that the university was going to come back here. And I said I needed the land. He didn't even ask where do you want the land. But anyway, finally when we joked, we chatted, he said, go and apply. I applied for 2 plots of land for National Open University of Nigeria. Each of them 20 hectares. What happened? The 2 were approved, but the only one available is the one we are on now. The second one, we don't know where it has disappeared to. Maybe some of you can find out. But when last I went to FCDA, they brought out the social to say, hey, National Open University, you have only 1 plot of land, 50 by 100. I said we had 20 hectares, and I have papers. None of us here is able to find that land. So some people must have stolen the land and distributed it among themselves, or whatever it is. But I'm glad that we have this place that we can call our own. If some of you are militant enough, I'm sure you can go and look for the second one. But don't quote me, whatever it is. But again, we want to thank the people here who have made this place such a fantastic place. They made use of what we have. We are all back here in Abuja, and I think put that into evidence, both political and otherwise, that we need. Let me just finish in 2 minutes. The anointed Taj Ibrahim that helped us with this with this Senate chairman. God will bless him.
Amen.
God will continue to enrich him. God will give him the wisdom to give back to the society that he has done. I wish I didn't want to say the temerity, but I wish I had the effrontery to say we must name this place after him. Because nobody's dead that we start talking about it. For him, spent his money and time and everything, I believe, and I hope that council or your group will take it. Yes, I just have one more minute. Next slide, because I'll tell you, so there's so many things to say. But there are two things I'd like to mention. Just apart from this building, we had people amongst us who, number one, who designed the logo of this university. We worked with me for more than 3 months working on the logo. Unfortunately, Bala is no more. Bala was at the Kaduna campus and he moved there to work with me. He was in a hotel, we were working together. I believe that such people should be honored. He did a fantastic job on the logo. The second person is Dr. No, not Awodi, what's his other name? Olugbemiro. Olugbemiro is now a professor of nursing at the University of Ilorin. He was the one who wrote anthem as well as he wrote the lyrics and the music free of charge. And he was working with me. All I did was to give him the blueprint, and I said, the only words we just say are the words that pertain to open and distance learning, and that's what we have. Fantastic, everybody talks about it. I believe such a person should be rewarded. Whatever way you can immortalize them, I hope we'll be able to do that. The other point I want to mention, and the VC mentioned this, which I hope will be able to surprise you. When the National Open University of Nigeria started, we had a time capsule. I don't know how many of you are familiar with time capsule. If you are not, Google time capsule. That's where you put everything about your university, whatever it is at the beginning, you hide them for posterity so that when you open it after 50 years, you will now see all the things that were done. We have the time capsule buried in front of the building in Lagos. I hope one day when we exhibit, we are going to have some stories about the National Open University of Nigeria. My last point, it's due humility, Vice-Chancellor. I didn't think this would come up, but I didn't expect it to mention that. Is that, as President Obasanjo told me, he called me 4 a.m. one day and said, I've had a number of things, but look, they can obliterate history. They cannot change facts. What we have are two institutions. One was NOU that had lived for only 1 year and died. No campus, nothing, no student, nothing. It was killed by the same government that put it there for 1 year. 83, then 84. And then that was National Open University. Please note this. The next one, and that is what Obasanjo called me to come and do. He's still alive, and I think people should go and ask him. When he spoke to me in China, I was in China to be the facilitator of a conference by the E9 countries. So they took me to him and said, Professor, I beg, I want you to come and start National Open University of Nigeria. And that's why we started this university from a building, from a room in the hotel, and we moved to somewhere at Adebulago Street. In the building, they said they bought for us, but they didn't buy it for us. They took 600 million out of wherever and spent it and said they bought it for Open University. And I refused to sign. I said, I'm not going to sign it unless you change it to the National Open University of Nigeria. Some people know about this. They never signed it. That was when midnight. Obasanjo said, but there's a 30-story building in Lagos. Federal Ministry, why don't you go use it for free? Then I was checking. As Open University is the whole of the Federal Secretariat that people abandoned in Lagos. I just came in from abroad, so I can say anything to anybody, you know, anything. So that's how I moved to Lagos. So that is why, this is the story. I'm actually writing my memoir, but I stopped because certain names will be mentioned in certain things that are so strategic to this country and so powerful that I can mention in a lot of things will happen because of this university, because of all of you. But I thank God that we are here today and we have the time to say Lord. Many more, sir, will come your way before you leave, and many more will come after we have left. Some of us we are on the departure land. But I can tell you that in 20, 30 years' time, a lot will happen. In fact, this Senate chamber will change. They're going to be a bigger one, because it will be a bigger university. It will be double this, the professors and people will be here. But we want to thank God for the people He has put somewhere to do things. And we need, and I quote Baba Basanjo, not to obliterate history, but to say facts.
Brother, but a younger colleague, as far as the office of VC is concerned, Professor Peters, and my twin brother, Professor Abdallah Baden, who I'm just half an inch taller than, but we are all heavy at the down part. I don't know why people decided to do my job, because I'm a storyteller. And I've always warned Bruce Gowon never to call me a comedian, because I'm not one. I don't wear comedian clothes, but I'm a storyteller. And I tell you stories to bring you alive. I tell stories because I never went to nursery school. I tell stories because I grew up with my grandmother, and she lived up to 118 years old. And she was always telling me stories. So our stories were my nursery school, and they built my educational background. So all of you came here and you have been telling stories, and that's what I was supposed to do. But now you have told all the stories, and I don't know what you want me to do anymore. But I want to thank God for bringing us here this morning stroke. We are getting to afternoon, now it's afternoon. Yeah. And I am so surprised. One day I came here, I was with the Vice-Chancellor, and I wanted to peep. I said, what is going on here? He said, no, and he blocked me. He said, you won't see it until the final day. And he really cheated me. Because today when I came, and I came a bit late, do you believe I had to get a guide to lead me to come to this place? And I was saying in my mind, so today somebody is leading you to find a way to go to university. So wonders never end. Thank you for all the people who designed and brought up this place. Thank you for your ideas, Professor Peters. And thank you all of you for supporting the idea. But I won't stop unless I do my job of telling you stories. And the story is that I was not at Lokoja when Professor Jegede had the initial meeting of bringing up the Open University. I was not there. And that's because he didn't know me. But I knew him, not physically, through a friend who was reading mathematics education when we were in Zaria in 1978 to 1982, who was always talking about Dr. Jegede then. So I have heard about him. But quietly, I was doing my job in ATBU, but one day he visited in capacity of Vice-Chancellor of University and said he wanted to see me. And he asked me, if we give you a job, will you take it? I said, a job of what? He said, we are going to a professor of biotechnology and agriculture. And I asked him, where will I be? He said, Lagos. I said, why will I go to Lagos? Then the salary of professor was 200,000. I said, it's a federal university. I'm in Bauchi, I'm earning 200,000. If I go to Lagos, I will still earn 200,000. And with 200,000 in Bauchi, I was saving 100,000 every month. Because 100,000 was enough for me, my wife, and my 3 children. So why would I go to Lagos when 200,000 cannot get me even an accommodation? Then he said, okay, if we post you anywhere else in Nigeria, will you go? I said, yes, from Ibadan to Kano to anywhere, but not Lagos. He said, okay. And that was how I got myself into Open University in 2006 as the director of Kaduna campus. So all the stories from 2001 to 2005, I'm not part of it. I didn't know anything. I want to tell you that Professor Jegede, yes, formed the foundation of this university. And all of us came to build on it. But I must let you know that I enjoyed working with Professor Jegede because when eventually I got appointed as the Deputy Vice-Chancellor Administration, I went to his office and said, okay, you know I always attend Senate from Kaduna, and now I've been elected Deputy Vice-Chancellor Administration. Can I operate from Kaduna? He said, no, you can't do that. You have to come to Lagos. Did I not tell you that we will see whether you come to Lagos or not? So I came to Lagos. But I want to tell you one secret about Professor Jegede. The guy has a very strong, hard face, stone face, but it is a defensive mechanism because the guy has a very soft heart. If you discover that secret, you will just finish this man. And I did. So most of the time when I go to him, or when I used to go to him to go and plead for anything, for some staff, for some favor, he would say, no, you follow the rule. But you know what happened? A staff wanted to be transferred from Lagos back to Kaduna. And I went and begged Professor Jegede to approve it. He said, no way. This is government job. You don't choose where you are. I said, okay. But you know what happened? He made a mistake when he was traveling out. He gave me acting position. So I approved the transfer back. And when he came back, he was furious. He called me, Vincent, who transferred this staff back to Kaduna? I said, the Vice-Chancellor. He went to me, I don't know about it. I said, check the file. And he saw that I signed in acting capacity. He just looked at me and shook his head. And he let it be. So you see, if the guy follows rules, because he knew that when he gave me position to act, and I acted. So he did reverse. So for all people who were seeing Jegede as if he's very hard, you don't know his secret. If you know his secret, you always get through. And this is the way he brought Open University up in style. And when God gave me the chance to become Vice-Chancellor, I just continued. And I built on what he has done. I want to tell you another story. While we were in Lagos, sometimes he was following up the pieces of land in Abuja so that the university could come back. He brought me one day to this place and said, this is the land given to us. This is the land given to us, and we are going to see how we can develop it. So he was the one who showed me this place. He didn't show me the other part. But Prof. Peter was just telling me now that we had another land towards Nyanya also. I said, well, I didn't know anything about that, and thank God we didn't meet in the other place, because this place has a better position. Because we were in Nyanya, and if you ask your colleagues who are in Nyanya, you know the traffic that they go through. So I want to use this opportunity to thank everybody for giving us the opportunity to gather here in this wonderful edifice. I just kept reading through my mind that the last time I stood before the Senate of the National Open University of Nigeria, exactly 9 years ago, that was in January 2016. Now we're in March, or we're in February 2025. So 9 years have passed. And I was looking through the Senate, I could see a lot of faces that were not having some wrinkles when I was here. Now I can see some few wrinkles, I can see some few gray hairs, but the faces are still the same. And I just felt a lot of nostalgia. And I'm so happy that after 9 years, I'm able to stand in a new Senate chamber with all the Senate members robed. I blame Professor Peter because when he invited me to this occasion, he didn't tell me that there was going to be Senate procession and robing and decoration. And when I came in, I was greatly and pleasantly embarrassed that I was dressed in my African robe while you were dressed in your alien robes that you call Senate, because this robing is not our tradition, but what I have is ours. But thank God somebody borrowed me this. Thank you, Mr. Registrar, because I've once seen you wearing this robe that I'm wearing. But this is not an organized Senate. It's not going to be every time that you have Senate here that you will be robed. I told the VC that this is very special. So I took my personal pictures that the Senate members are sitting and well decorated and everybody robed because we are having a special occasion. I want to thank Abdallah for continuing from where I stopped. I want to thank Olugbemiro for continuing from where Abdallah stopped. And I want to thank Professor X, who is going to continue from where Professor Peter stopped. Finally, I want to say that the Open University is a unique university. It's a special university, and it is recognized all over the world. And the efforts and the reason why we are recognized all over the world is because of your dedication, the commitment and interest that everybody from the most senior staff to the most junior, that you have committed to the project. You should be proud of this university. We would have been more international than we are now if we got the support from our colleagues in academia, even in Nigeria. I remember even when I was joining the Open University, some of my colleagues said I was also gambling with my future. But thank God I work with somebody like Professor Jegede, who never gives up. This guy doesn't give up. Even when you think he's going to give up, he will not give up. But I'm surprised that he gave up one time. But Obasanjo frustrated that giving up by bringing him back. So when you work somebody who doesn't lose hope and who doesn't give up, you just need to continue and try to improve on what he has done. Thank God that my colleagues have always improved on what we have done. Thank God that you also believe in the project and you have been very supportive and you have been working very hard. One thing unique with Open University is that we work as a family. And Abdallah, of course, have analyzed the reason why we work as a family. And that is why this is the only university that you find in all parts of the country, both in the state capitals, local government, communities, and so on. But I want to remind you that we have just begun. We have just started. We still have a lot of work to do. When you look at the act that establishes university, you will find that if you have not checked the document, in the first 25 years, this university was supposed to be present in all the state capitals, in all the 36 state capitals of the country. And the next tranche of 25 years, that's we are supposed to be present in all the 774 local government capitals of this country. So if you know the number of study centers that you have now, And if you compare it to someone else from before, you know what percentage you have done. So it's really hard. So I want to use this opportunity to thank you for your commitment, for your dedication, for your interest, and for your support for the system. I am very happy that we have brought up a viable project. I'm very happy that we are going to hand over a viable project to the next generation and to the Gen Z who brought up this beautiful idea. I'm very happy that you are going to also hand over to, I learned that there is Gen something now. Gen Z is what do you call it? Alpha. Alpha. You see, Alpha has already taken over from you. You have been calling us old school, but now you are joining us. Thank God for everything. And with this, I wish everybody a successful commissioning of this project, and I wish everybody the best.
Don't forget, Senate is adjourning to 2. We are provided by 2 again. There will be a reception for all Senate members at the ground floor conference room. And for the session, we are going to recess the way we came in the morning. This is the Vice-Chancellor week, followed by former Vice-Chancellor, followed by all the minister officers. So we are very on the end of the program. And I want to thank everybody for their right attention, for their support and dedication. So, national, the now anthem, please. Now anthem, please.